you wake up with this message on TikTok today? Because thousands of people did, and it's a message talking about how Congress is planning to try to ban TikTok, and TikTok is encouraging you to call them and try to stop it.
Okay, so that, of course, was a TikToker explaining how the social media app is urging some of its 170 million users in the U.S. to protest this new bipartisan bill that would potentially ban the app nationwide. That's our spotlight today. So TikTok is firing back at the legislation, arguing that a ban would infringe on users' constitutional rights to free expression. So, Mike, we'll start here with you. TikTok has repeatedly denied these accusations that it shares Americans' data with the Chinese government. Is there anything it can do at this point to change lawmakers' minds?
The problem with me is this, Kana, is that when we saw TikTok go before Congress, the way that our representatives led that hearing, it left me with incredible doubt that the lawmakers really understood the technology, the misuse of terminology, the misuse of understanding how the platform works, the misunderstanding of the content creator's ability to maintain a business and economic freedom from becoming a content creator, the belittling of these content creators as if it's not a real job. This idea that the security was in place also too because of misinformation be spread around the platform does not give me any rest assurance whether or not this is truly a security breach, that they're security concerned with China, or is it just they have a misunderstanding of the platform? And so my concern is really rooted in that. And also, too, does it take away ability to people's First Amendment and freedom of speech and expression on the platforms that they choose?
Mike, I agree with you with a lot of what you had to say. I mean, Congress has a lot of responsibility in terms of being educated enough in order to be able to have this conversation. It's one of the reasons why age isn't just about how a candidate appears, but actually maybe, how up to date they may be in terms of being able to use social media and understand the vocabulary. But with that being said, I'm still kind of on Congress's side on this, and this is why. We've heard from former employees that this company is housing American data. We understand that they're tracking the movement of some of our citizens. So, I recognize this could be a disruptor for people economically, and certainly there are questions about the First Amendment, but this is a national security threat, and I think we need to make that the priority.
And that's exactly the legal issue here as well, for what it's worth. By the way, love that we're doing this takeover. On the one hand, there's, bipartisan agreement about TikTok. That's about divesting TikTok from ByteDance, which is the CCP-run Chinese government entangled company. It's not going to ban TikTok in the United States because that would raise First Amendment concerns. What Congress can do, however, is insist that if you're running a social media company in this country, that you can't do it being owned by basically one of our greatest adversaries, governments, that, by the way, was trying to prove that tweenagers weren't addicted to their product, and then sent out this message to call Congress, and members of Congress were flooded with middle schoolers calling from gym class.
It's hard to agree with Marco Rubio in most situations, but I think that he's spot on in this one. We have more and more young people, particularly middle schoolers, who are pretty much the base of the TikTok crowd. And the issue here isn't the fact that TikTok exists, it's what it exists for and who's actually data mining and utilizing that to steal very viable information about the American public, their trends, what they're interested in, and what they have the capacity of doing with it. The Chinese Communist government, make no mistake, is the largest threat to American national security, be it whether they are using spy planes, be it whether they are, working to destroy our infrastructure at various levels, or getting into the minds and hearts of our young people. That is what is happening with TikTok, and I do think that there should be significant regulatory procedures against it.
Lisa, you've nailed it right there. It's not that I don't disagree with the other three in terms of how you guys have laid out your case for it. The challenge is right there. If our concern for national security interest relies on a social media platform, then we're in bigger trouble. You just mentioned the idea of infrastructure. There are so many other ways that our adversaries can cause harm and damage to us. So for our Congress to focus solely on a tech platform as being the sole reason. That is what the issue I have with it, because Congress has yet to prove their understanding of it, and they have yet to lay out a case of exactly how data has been breached. And so this is a challenge that is at hand, and there is a larger narrative that we need to keep pushing.
Thanks, you guys. That was an excellent takeover.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.